appreciation just for having a meal on my table that I never had in my entire life until I had to eat MREs for 18 months at a time. And
I'm loading back in the session. Just send me an invite, cause I had to do my whole
but
thing all over
in
again, cause it didn't
all right,
even
Williams, we'll
finish.
wait for you for a minute and then we're gonna go ahead. All right.
All right. Oh
But
boy.
in regards to telling me that you're gonna now institute a rule that requires everybody to do 2 years of service, whether they want to or not,
Yeah.
it's wrong because everything that I went and fought for to give you an option to do whatever the hell you want to do just went out the door. So, and the other thing about it too, Savage, is that you gotta remember is that there's some people like me when I was a kid and I was an overconfident bastard and I got picked on as a kid and instead of fucking backing down I was like, I'll fight everybody, fuck it. Fuck, I'll hit you with a chair, I don't give a fuck. That was me. I didn't give a shit. You're gonna like there was literally an incident in the cafeteria. I was sitting there eating food and like 3 guys decided to pull a chair out from under me and start hitting me in the face and I got up and started whacking them with the chair and then the dean came along and the police came out and whatever and then they were like, well, why did you do this? And I was like, well, because this happened. And they were like, well, I don't believe you. And I was like, go ask everybody else. Like they went and asked everybody else and they were like, yeah, like these motherfuckers started beating up on this guy and then he kicked their ass and they were like, okay, well, you're not going to get in trouble. And I was like, well, fuck off then. Like that's what it was, I'm just going to tell you how it was, no matter what. But there are some people who
Okay,
can't
send me the
handle
invite.
situations like that, and you force them to go into life and death situations. You're going to put the other people that are with them at risk. I don't want that person next to me.
Uh, Excuse them. I just just send me an invite. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, though? You force people to go do something, you put everybody else that would have been there anyways at risk because that person wouldn't have been there. Now, if we did a psych test for everybody that went in and then we gave them a job based on their psych test, now that would be unconstitutional too because we were singling people out, but that would probably save the people in the field from having to deal with somebody that wouldn't have their back, you know what I mean? But as far as I go and being out there and fighting for you guys to be able to have a choice and knowing that I don't want to go out there with somebody who's not going to step up when they need to, it's not right. Don't do it that way. Don't do it that way.
Yep. We all accounted for. Hey, Davis, I sent you a
2 seconds? Are
Nevis,
you rolling me one? Is that what's happening?
Nevis, I sent
Savage
you a
always be rolling me one, but I never get to hit it. Me too, brother. Huh, Savage. Savage
um.
always be rolling me one, but
I know it's not.
he's never giving me the hits
It's
though.
somewhere else. My camera's in I don't know, Blackwater. It's a glitched. It's glitched out. It's cool though. Oh boy.
Well, I'll shoot you and that way you have to fix it. You ready? Oh, that's Savage. Where are you at, Red Dot? Oh, I can see you. You're gonna have to start over. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you might have. It might be working. Sometimes if you shoot the guy, it'll restart. Hell yeah, baby. Well, you're driving. Yeah, baby. I gotta pack one real quick.
Yeah. You trying to get a horses? You know how that is.
Will, is this you that friend requested me on
Yeah, I was trying to
fucking?
tell you that.
Wanna become
Alright, I
famous?
got you, brother. Hell
Buy
yeah.
followers, primes, and viewers on
Just
followinvit.com.
wanted to double check, that's all.
Followinvit.com.
Yeah, it's me, man. In the
Wanna
flesh.
become famous?
All the
Buy
crazy. All
followers,
the
primes,
craziness.
and viewers on
Hey, message
followinvit.com.
me your YouTube channel name
Followinvit.com.
and I'll add it for you, brother. I went to do it a long time ago and I forgot what it was. My bad.
It's JJW2317.
Yeah, I got you. Just message it to me on Instagram. I'll get it. It's all good.
Yeah, I will. After I get some sleep and become sober and fully rested, that Mio will blackberry and black cherry and vitamins got caffeine, and that's the only reason why I'm still up. Yeah,
I'll tell you what though.
I mean, it's the
You
Mio
guys,
drink
if
mix,
you
though. I
guys
got
ever
it.
have a chance to come out to California, let nah, brother. I'll introduce you to all my Republican friends, the ones that make a lot of money. We'll have a great time. But that's besides of. Uh, do you have the registration for the weapons? Like, doesn't matter as long as you're not carrying it on you within a building. You're fine. Just put them in their cases and put them in your trunk and bring them out here. We'll go to the shooting range. I'm dead serious. Huh?
They
Yeah.
got- Well, that's Tennessee. Tennessee,
It has to be. It's
yeah, it
federal
has
law.
to be.
Yeah. No, Savage, if you're gonna drive out here, right? In California, you'll be okay. Don't quote me on any of the other states. You have to check all the other states you're gonna go through and make sure that you can have a weapon in your trunk in a case, because it's different. So concealed weapon is considered a carry-on, which means that you're carrying it on your body. But a weapon in a case, in a locked case, or a zipped bag with a locket on it, is not considered a concealed carry. Especially if you carry the purchasing paperwork or the registration of the item, right? Well, then you're considered a threat. Because if you get pulled over, no, because if you get pulled over by an officer and you have a gun in your lap, then he's gonna pull his gun on you because you're considered a threat.
Yep. Yep. And down here it gets real crazy, especially in Atlanta.
You're crazy. What's your problem?
Yeah. That's why I'm gonna start shopping on Amazon.
Tell you what, when I was
right now.
when I was out in Georgia at the army base out there for about 6 months. Yeah, Fort Stewart as an MP for about 6 months. Yeah, you know that base though? It's pretty small, but like they're super fucking strict. Yeah, they're super fucking strict. We had a guy roll up with a gun on the fucking dash, and he was drunk as fuck. And I'll wait. I'll get a little bit closer, but I won't pull it. But I told him, I was like, all right, like, is this your gun? And he was like, I don't know what gun you're talking about. And I was like, the gun on your fucking dash. He was like, there's no gun on my dash, you're blind. And I was like, alright. Here's
Not on my end. Got me near the water.
me either, but got money and XP, so
Yeah, there's a collectible somewhere. Yeah. Updates is what fixes bugs and everything, so by the next
oh yeah. Hell yeah, thank you, brother.
oh right here?
Let me see. Come over here real quick. I almost put out dynamite. Let me go into first person real quick. There we go. Wait, where'd you
You
just
done
appear?
glitched out. You just
What
you just-
happened, Savage?
he pulled the ghost move on you. He became a spirit.
Shit, he might have got dropped. I was trying to look at his outfit.
Yeah. Rockstar servers are.
I hope he
servers
ain't
need to fix
mad.
it. Rockstar servers didn't. They need to fix that.
Yeah, I was trying to look at his outfit and he left.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm up there at Fort Stewart. Fucking, I was basically like highlighting, which is when you just take a job to fill in space. And I was an MP for a little bit. Well, the guy pulls up with his shotgun or his dash, and I'm like, alright, whose gun is this? And he's like, I don't know whose gun that is, it's not mine. And I was like, well, there's no problem if you have a gun. I just need you to take possession of it and claim it and let me take it and make sure it's not loaded. And he was like, you could reach it in my car. And I was like, well, alright, so is it your gun or is it not? Because if it's not your gun, I'm going to reach in and take it. And he was like, you're not reaching it in my car. And I was like, alright, you have two choices. And I'm going to give him real quick. You let me do my job, or this is going to get real difficult and I'm going to pull a gun on you. And he was like, well, I guess you need to pull your gun. So I pull up my .45 caliber and I put it right on his head.
Crap.
Right between, like, you know where your eye socket and your temple are?
Yeah, I know it. Oh,
Like,
no.
right where the like, point of your eye socket meets your head?
That's a scary
I
moment.
put it right there and I jabbed it in so it hurt a little bit, you know? Yeah, and I pushed it and then he pushed back, so I pushed a little harder. And then I cocked it, and I said, okay, so are you going to let me do my job? Or am I going to have to use this? And he was like, well, I don't know, I guess this got a little bit different. And I was like, he's still being a difficult asshole. Like, he's not just complying. And in my head, I'm going, I have a gun in my head. It was me and another guy, right? And there was two of them, and I was like, at that time I was a lot bigger than I am now, but I was like, we're both a lot bigger than you. Like, you really want to go down this road? So I'm thinking to myself, but I'm like, okay, that's not an answer. So, and I uncocked my gun to kind of defuse the situation. I pulled it back a little bit, kind of rested it on his shoulder. And I was like, look, I don't really want to shoot you. I don't really want to get shot. But what I'm gonna do is allow you to make a better decision right now, or I'm probably gonna hurt you. And he was like, you're not gonna hurt me, I'm fine, you can't fucking do anything to me, I don't have any weapons. And I was like, no, you do. Like, is this your car? He was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, you have a weapon, it's on your dashboard, I see it. Like, you're not getting away with this. And he's drunk, so he's continuing to argue, and I was like, oh, okay. So I put my gun away, and at this point he's not really paying attention. And so I'm kind of mad, and no, you should never ever do this. Because I wasn't. He was in like a Chevy Cavalier, right? So the dash was pretty deep, and the shotgun was pretty. I would have had to reach in like 3/4 of my arm to reach to the gun to get it. So I wasn't going to put myself in a position to be grabbed or have my gun get grabbed, which means I would have been up against the car, and so I couldn't reach the gun. But I put away my actual gun because he wasn't complying with that. And I went non-lethal because he wasn't being violent. But I put it right against his neck. And I was like, look, man, this is your last time to comply. And he was like, yeah, man, I've been nice to you, so why are you going to give me a hard time? I'm military too. And I was like, that's not what this is about. Like, you have a gun and I need to know about it, and I don't see registration, and you're in a different state and your tags don't match, and like, I need to know who the fuck you are. And he was like, I'll give you my ID. And I was like, that doesn't do anything for me for the gun. Your military ID doesn't allow you to have this gun that's not registered with us. I can see it's not military issue. It's a 12 gauge from Big 5. Like, I already know. And he's like, you don't know your guns. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I'm going to count to 5.
Oh, boy.
He was like, okay, let me help you. And so every time I counted, when I said 1, he said 2. And so when I said 3, he said 4. And I was like, so you're making this go faster? He was like, yeah. He's like, 5. And so I just fucking point blank shot the prong straight into his neck. I didn't even zap him I didn't just tase him. I shot the prong straight into his neck, which went about halfway in close range. And then he was like, and he grabbed his friend's arm, so his friend got shocked too. And my partner's on the other side, and he's laughing his ass off because when he grabbed his friend's arm, his friend pissed his pants because he got shocked so hard because I was at that close to range. And they're just both like, I let go, like I only held it for a few seconds, but like it was about 5 or 6 seconds, and it was enough time for him to grab the other guy, make him piss his pants, and then me let him go, and then have to pull the prongs out and give him, antiseptics or whatever. But
Oh, wow.
I was like, I open the door, I rip him on the ground. My partner opens the other door and rips the other guy on the ground. He's like, I'm not touching you, you pissed your pants. He just puts his foot on his back, and I was like, I'll arrest him in a second, don't worry. Put the guy in the handcuffs, and then like we had the ambulance come and take the prongs out of his neck. And then I grabbed the gun. It was, dude, they literally bought it like 5 days ago from Big 5. Like, I wasn't even joking. When I said it was Big 5, I was right, and I didn't even know that. Like, it looked like Big 5 $200 12 gauge, though. That's what it looked like. And I was like, dude, like, why did you make this harder than it had to be? And the thing is like, they didn't get any charges for the gun. They didn't get anything for anything that they did other than not complying with officers at the gate. And I didn't even tag them for a DUI. I just tagged them for not complying. But it was so funny because the guy gets shocked, like convulsing hardcore, grabs his friend's wrist, and his friend starts convulsing and just pisses his fucking pants. And my partner's looking at me with like bug eyes, and he's like, "I'm not fucking touching that." And I was like, "That's you, bro. That's your side. You gotta arrest him. That's you."
Well, I guess you gotta have some gloves on. That's the case. You're so worried about touching the person.
You there, Savage?
Nothing normal about that kind of behavior.
Can't hear shit.
Oh,
There you are. Oh, good. So you missed the end of that story, Savage. You heard the part where the gun was sitting on the dash, right? It was a 12 gauge. It was like in a Chevy Cavalier, so it had a pretty deep dash. I wasn't gonna reach it and put my body halfway into the cab and expose my gun and everything to the driver and all that. So long story short, gave him a lot of chances. I actually put my real gun against his head, probably to the point that it left a bruise on the cavity of his head between his eye socket and where his skull meet. And then he didn't want to comply, but he was compliant enough that I felt safe to put away lethal force and take out non-lethal. So I put a non-lethal, gun against his neck, which had prongs in it, to tase him, a non-lethal taser. And I could have just tased him and not used the prongs, but what's the fun in that when somebody's being an asshole? So I gave him plenty of chances to comply, and he still said no. And so at some point I just decided, okay, well, there's nothing else I can do. And what I told my CO though was because I was an MP. I was like, I didn't know that I pulled the real trigger. I thought I pulled the taser trigger. So I shot prongs right into his neck from point blank range and just shocked the shit out of him. Which, when you shoot prongs, the voltage is higher because they're supposed to travel a distance, so they're higher voltages on purpose. So if you do it at point blank range, it's a higher voltage than you would get from just a tase. Which low key is why I did it. But what happened was, for about 5 or 6 seconds, I held onto the trigger so that these prongs went into him. He was being, electrocuted, and he reached over and he grabs his friend's wrist, and then his friend started getting electrocuted because it created a current, and then his friend pissed his pants. and then my partner's looking at me with these bug eyes, and he's like, "Fuck you, bro," and I'm like, "That's your side, bro. You gotta arrest him." It's like, "That's you, bro." He put his foot on the back. He's like, "I'm not touching him. That's nasty." I was like, "No, that's all you, bro. That's all you." Pulled him out. But the thing about it was, right? Okay, they were drinking and driving. They refused questions and resisted arrest. And then they had a unidentified firearm on the dash that they refused to identify with military officers. So I didn't tell anybody that they were drinking and driving. I let that go. I didn't give them a resisting charges, gave them a charge for non-compliance. And then they didn't get a charge for the gun. So they got, I think, 2 charges total out of the 5 or 6 they could have gotten. So, I mean, I helped the bro out, but you can't put a gun in your dash and not tell MP what you're doing. Like, this is not going to happen. You're not going onto my base without identifying the weapon that you have. And the thing was, after I went through his car, the gun was only like a week or so old, and it was a big 12 gauge shotgun. So I was telling Red, like, I asked him if he bought it from Big 5, and he was like, I don't fucking buy that gay shit. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then I get into the car, and like, however many days it was, I find a Big 5 receipt for a 12 gauge shotgun, and I was like, that would have been really easy. You could have just told me. And you know how it is there. But the only difference is that when you go in a military base, you gotta follow federal laws, so it's a little bit more strict. We'll combine them with the state laws as long as everybody on the base is gonna be safe. But when you don't comply, prongs to the next, baby. Prongs to the next. And by the way, like, when they pulled up, I already knew that they were drinking, and I was like, hey, how'd your night go? Like, you know what I mean? I was nice. I was like, what's up, guys? Like, oh, glad you're having a good night. Hey, I just gotta stop you, gotta ask you a few questions. You have a fucking shotgun on your dash. Can you tell me a little bit about that? That's how that went. And as soon as I asked about the gun, he was like, fuck you stupid fucking bitch, don't fucking talk to me. I was like, alright. I see where this is going. Yes, sir. Well, what? Send you an invite? Oh, fuck, that's right. It says view invites. I can't send any invites. No, let me see this. I just don't have access. Let me start my posse and see if I can send an invite from my posse. But it will let me send an invite from the game. Where you at, Red?
Pretty thing too.
Tell me if you get this or not.
That fine animal there. How about letting me mount up for
Sweet.
a photograph with it?
Yeah, for some reason this is grayed out.
Okay, just what I wanted to hear. All right, bring your horse over and I'll hop right on. Let me get into place.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for Savage to share. I mean,
All right, found me a dummy. Thanks for the horse. Really is a pretty thing. You try me, I'll shoot, and I'm a great shot. Woo! Rides like a dream.
there you go, Savage. I sent you a positive invite. I'll be right back. I'll tell you what. So I heard a little bit about what you were saying. I just couldn't talk. I was out in roommate land. But man, I fucking hate having a roommate. No, I lived on my own for a long time, and then I got tired of paying my own bills, right? So it's like, oh, I'll be smart, and I'll get somebody to pay half of it for me. Let me give them a room in a house. and then I invited somebody in my house, and they're paying their bills, and they're actually usually pay them ahead of time. I don't gotta complain or anything. But I walk out of my own room, and I feel uncomfortable walking out in my underwear, and I'm like, this is my goddamn house. Like fuck you, I'm gonna walk out in my underwear. But at the same time, I'm like, god damn it, he pays rent. I can't do that shit. So,
It's a thin line, the silver lining.
so I'm like, I love not paying the entire bill, but fuck, is your health worth it? Like, nah, it's not my health. This is my goddamn house. I probably sound like such a dick, but at the same time, like I bought it, I did it. You're a guest. You pay less than I do. Sure, you help me a little bit, but at the same time, like, I'm a respectful person. I'm a respectful person, so I'm gonna hold myself to my own morals. But at the same time, I want to be that guy, just like, fuck you, deal with it, cause it's my house. You know what I mean? But I don't know how to be that guy. Yeah, Riley, this is my goddamn house, motherfucker. Suck it up, bitch. Well, that's the good part, though. The only thing that he owns in this house is his fucking room. When I told him, he was like, I can move this and I can move this. I was like, nah, put it in storage. I ain't want none of your shit. I was like, you're paying this amount for your room, that's your space. The rest of it is shared space. I'll charge you an extra $100 to use everything that's here. But don't move your stuff in here and then start giving me rules. Like, this is mine. Like, you can use everything of mine that you want to use, but you have to be a clean person. That's all I ask. And he was like, that's fair. He was like, that's fair, that's respect. Like, I was like, yeah, so, like, don't move all your shit in here. I don't need double couches, double kitchen supplies, fuck all that bullshit. Here's your rent. Here's $100 for use of everything else. We both have to clean it. Just clean up after yourself. If I start cleaning up after you, I'm gonna charge you $50 a month every time I have to clean up after you. Period. He was like, that's fair. And he was like, fuck. And I was like, but now I'm going, I want to walk out of my goddamn room in my fucking underwear and go to the bathroom whenever the fuck I want. Yeah, go ahead, Red. Yeah. That's different. You have your wife there. I mean, if I had a wife, I'd walk out in my underwear too. And I've had some female roommates, but I fucked every one of them, so I stopped doing that shit. That's just drama.
Well, that's what happened.
I ain't fucking my guy roommates though. That's not drama. So I'm keeping my dick in my pants. Right now it's a guy. I just switched over, but that's because the female roommate that left, I fucked her for about 3 months, and then she was like, "All right, I'm gonna move on." And I was like, "All right." Yeah, no, I feel you because San Francisco is about 2.5 hours from me, and it's about 2,000 miles from you. So I'm not walking out of my room in boxers unless I know for sure this guy's not gay. Sorry.
Yeah. Got to be more
No, you were
careful.
talking about jail, though. I heard that. Yeah. Yeah. I have nothing against anybody that needs a second chance. I hope you know that. So, I spent a short stint in the brig in the military, and in the brig, which is a military jail, I decided to mouth off to my CO during training because I was pissed off that I was having to redo something that I knew that I did right. And it doesn't matter what you think you did right in the military. If somebody asks you to redo it and they're your commanding officer, you fucking do it. There's no questioning that. That's how that works. There's A1 and A2. You're A2, you answer to A1. There's no questioning A1. A2 just does what A1 asks. Easiest way to describe it. Well, I did my job and I thought that I did it right. And I was about 20 or 19 at the time. And he was like, do it again. And I was like, fuck you, I'm not doing this shit again. I'm fucking tired. Everybody else in the fucking platoon did worse than I did. I fucking finished first. He's like, yeah, you finished first, so do it again. And I was like, what the fuck you mean? Do it with me then. He's like, I don't have to do the shit that you do. I'm your commanding officer. Fucking do it again. And I was like, make me. And so he pushed me. And again, I was like 19, so I was an overconfident hothead. And I had already been in a fight the night before that at a bar, so when I got pushed again, and I was already still pissed off about what happened the night before because I hadn't been able to talk about it with the people that it happened with. Oh, dude, he set me off so big. I just clocked him right in the fucking face. I can't tell you how quick they were MPs on me, but I hit him and my face hit the fucking ground. That's how fast it was. Like, as soon as I swung and as soon as my fist made contact, my face was in the fucking ground and my hands were above my head and in my ass. I didn't even get to walk to the jail. I got thrown in the brig with handcuffs on my feet and I got carried like a half a mile. Yeah. They don't fuck around, so I'll tell you. And it's a little bit different in the military, I'm sure, but there were guys that were in there for crimes that were serious that I had to bunk with during those 6 days. Jail's no joke, no matter what jail it is. That shit's scary. You get ripped out of uniform, you get specifically colored shirts, you get a jumpsuit that 12 people have worn and it's been washed once in maybe a month. You sleep in a room of 4, there's no door closed, there's no lights off. There's guards walking around 24/7. People in there are out to get you no matter what because that's what they're there for, that's what they're bred for. They're stuck there forever, they don't give a fuck. Jail is a scary ass thing. Very scary. So you do one of two things when you go to jail though. You wake the fuck up and you don't go back, Or you live that life because you get imprisoned. You get used to it. You get accustomed to living that life. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, when I got my DUI and I was in for 2 days for that, like, that shit was scary too. But I mean, I got put in a holding room. I didn't get put in an actual cell. But I'll tell you that people I was in the holding room with, I wouldn't want to be in a cell with. I blew a .06. I was below legal limit. Yeah. I mean, that sucks, but I'm still paying mine off. It cost me 12.8. I have about 6,000 left to pay. Yeah. We don't have that in my state. You got lucky. Me too. They didn't give a fuck. I was an easy target. Alright, I blew a .06. The legal limit's .08. I was in an accident, right? Yeah, they fucked me in the ass real good. You know, though, at the same time, at the same time of all these things that have happened and like the prices I pay, I'll tell you why I stay here. I get all 4 seasons. I'm never gonna freeze. I'm never gonna get frostbite here. At least where I live, in the location that I live, it doesn't get cold enough. I can go to the snow and do whatever I want. I can snowboard or go visit it or sled or whatever the hell I want to do, or just go stay in a hotel and fuck while I watch the snow out the window. Like, it doesn't matter. And then I can go home afterwards, and I don't gotta take it home with me. And my weather is like 40 or 50 degrees warmer than it is in the snow. But then I also have Yosemite there. I have Sequoia National Park. I have Kings Canyon. I have like 5 of the world's wonders right here in California, which are all within an hour and a half to 3 hours of where I live. Like, I don't see any reason to leave. Fuck, I went today to go to take I did a retest for my license, right? Because I passed the first 2 and I failed one of them. My retest was in Monterey, which I don't know if you know where Monterey is, but it's right on the coast, right? So I was like, hey Pops, like, can you get a day off of work? He was like, I get a day off of work. I was like, you want to drive me to take my test? He was like, or go with me? He was like, yeah, like, how long is it gonna be? I was like, just plan on taking all day, like, just take the entire day off. He's like, are you gonna buy me dinner or what? Like, what are we doing? I was like, I don't know, I gotta go take my test, and after I take my test, we can figure it out. Now, you gotta understand, like, I'm sure you're my age, and my dad's getting older. He's like 65 now, and
My dad just turned 73 like a few weeks ago.
yeah, so you hear me, Williams. It's a scary thing when your parents start getting older. So fuck, alright, we went down there, took my test, got out. That was super fucking stressful for me because it's state regulated. They pat you down before you go in, like they're super serious, like fucking grabbing your balls and cupping your nuts before you go in. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I got Pops to go with me. I spent fucking 6 hours with him today. Went and walked on the beach and had a fucking nice-ass dinner with some beers and then came home. Like, what other state can I do that in? You know what I mean? Like, I went to one of the most desired beaches in the world. Walked it. And I had dinner with my Pops with a couple of beers and then came home in 2 hours. Now, I'm paying for it. Fuck, just in my town in the valley where I do agriculture is probably more expensive than the average town in the entire U.S., but at the end of the day, I reap the benefits too. You guys gotta come out and visit, I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you this, if you really want to come visit Cali, alright, you talk to your wife, you get your shit together, and you say, alright, I have this many vacation days, you tell me when you're coming out, I'll plan a trip for you and I'll take those days off. And then no, I'm not joking, you too, Red, same thing. Well, even better, what if we could all put together this, like, fucking a date that multiple people come out here, then we can fucking drive up and down California and show you guys the best parts of what's going on down here. When you were single? Fuck, man. Yeah. Yeah, they ended up in Oregon, brother. Yeah, they ended up in Oregon. Now, have you heard of John Muir? John Muir? He's the man that discovered Yosemite. No, he's the second man that discovered Yosemite. But the first man before John Muir was Joe Walker, which is somebody that I did a giant report on in school. But he, after the times that you're talking about, and after we started moving into California and the Spanish Inquisition happened and the Alamo and everything, and we started coming here to mine gold, then they started discovering California, right? So John Muir, like, started hiking all over California. He was like, fuck it, I want to see everything. And, I mean, they didn't have fucking power bars and all this nutritional shit, right? He just was carrying fucking dried meat with him and fucking roughing it with no help, and there was no trails, and he just went out and did it. Like, what a fucking badass. He's like, I'm just gonna take beef jerky with me and some water. I hear you.
That sound like a rock song.
Oh shit.
Well, it must be almost 6 o'clock then.
Yeah, I'm out. Hell yeah, bro. I'm with you. No, like that shit interests me a lot. Like I love that shit. And like what I'm saying is like, man, you guys find the time. If we can put like, even if it's not this year, like let's say next year we can plan a date, right? And we can get like more, like a few more people in our group to come, so that there's all of us going and doing this shit. Like, it's worth it, bro. Like, let's go do it. Like, let's get it. Let's get a group together. You guys come out to California. I'll show you the best spots. I'll show you everything that I know that I grew up on. And but California has so many amazing things to see. And if you don't want to see all of that, we can just go fucking slap a ball around in golf and get drunk. Fuck it. There's hella casinos out here too, but I would love to take you guys to Yosemite. Like, Yosemite is something you have to see. It's a national park, and the thing is you can't believe the amount of people that live here that I run into in my own town that go, "Oh, I've never been there," and I'm like, "It's 2 hours away. How have you never been there?" And they're like, "Oh, I've just never gone." Guess you're fucking going. Like, oh hell yeah! You guys have a great beach. It's actually a destination. My neighbors that used to live down the street from me. He used to build airplanes, and then he actually, like, him and his wife decided, like, alright, we're gonna sell our house here. And then whatever we could fit in the plane, it was a single engine, like, small Cessna. And he's like, whatever we can fit in the plane, we'll fly out there and we'll go live at. Is it Myrtle Beach that's down there in Georgia?
No, Myrtle Beach is in South Carolina.
South Carolina. No, what's the one in Georgia that's right on the Gulf there?
Tybee Island Beach. There's
Tybee Island, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so they sold their house here, bought a house there, and everything that they could fit in their plane, they flew out to Georgia, and then sold the plane at the airport, and drove everything from the airport to the fucking house. And then they're living the life right now. I mean, you gotta know, like, even though you guys have hurricanes out there or anything, the weather out there is like right on the Gulf. Right on the Gulf is beautiful. Oh yeah, so you're down in the only thing that I would love to live down there, but the only thing that fucks me up is the humidity, man.
You know, it's really hot. It's super hot down there.
It's just sticky. When mosquitoes bite you, the humidity, you feel it, bro.
Make sure you bring plenty of balls.
Are we fighting? I don't know. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run. No, like here it's a dry heat. It could be 110, but it feels like 85 in Georgia with 95% humidity. You know what I mean? The humidity of there just fucking kills you. I know in July, like this was a few years ago, I flew. Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, do you catfish at all? My grandparents are from Arkansas. And so my favorite thing is fucking catfish fries with hush puppies, fucking deep fried French fries. Brother, I'm sorry, that's my favorite thing to do. Who's fucking poisoning me? God damn it. Some bitches. You know what I'm saying though? You get the deep fryer out, you throw some breaded catfish in there that you caught the other night, and then you throw some hush puppies after that with some coated bread too. Oh man, that shit's so good. And then it's one after another, right? So after all that's cooked, you throw the French fries in there just to add something on top. Man. Yeah, that's why you throw the potatoes last. The potatoes soak up everything, bro. Shit. Take out red. Yeah, tell me to shoot him. Where you at, Savage? Are you all down to do a little bit of showdowns? I gotta get off of here in a little bit. I gotta go to get a little bit of sleep. I hear you. Oh man, I'm talking about, man. If you came out here, we could do a big ass catfish fry, I'll tell you that. That's something I know how to do back from my Arkansas days, I'll tell you that much. Yeah. My grandfather worked for GM, right?
We're ready to go.
But he had a mother and a stepdad, and all kinds of shit go on, right? And basically, he got booted at like 14 from his house. So he got told, go figure it the fuck out, is what he got told. So he was like, alright, I'll figure it the fuck out. So he didn't get to finish school, he didn't get to read, didn't do any of that shit. I have a picture of him living on the White River. You know where the White River's at? It's like down near the Mississippi, like it runs from Arkansas, like down through, what's that below Arkansas? Is that Kansas? No, Kentucky's to the right of it. It's gotta be Kansas down below it, and it runs through Kansas all the way down into the Mississippi. Goes from east to west. But he lived on the White River in a houseboat that he bought from somebody after working on the farms. And there's a picture of him where a bear cub came up on his boat, and then he owned a bear till that bear got big enough that the mama came back like a year later and said, alright, cool, let's go. And so he's standing there, takes a picture with the bear, and then leaves. That's it. I swear to God, black and white picture, him and this giant ass 500-pound bear, bro.
Myself with a stew this time.
Guy couldn't read from here to Sunday, but he could fix anything that you put in front of him. I gotta work too. I gotta get off right now as well. I
Yeah,
just gotta
we
kill
all
Red
do.
real quick.
Yeah.
Alright. Love you, brother. I'll see you tomorrow, alright? Hey, tomorrow I'm gonna be on a different team than you and I'll push your poon showdowns, alright? Them's are fighting words. Why the fuck aren't you dying? What's your fucking build right now? You know me, I don't like losing.
You got 15 seconds to do it.
Yeah, come here.
Don't you fucking do it.
Told you.
Where are you guys anyway?
You can't respawn enough for me to do it. Fuck. Alright, I gotta tap out too. I gotta get some sleep. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Alright, brother. I think you're gonna do some shut.
Alright, I'll do a showdown with you. Yeah, I'll join your posse and then let's load in. And I'm
Yeah, I'll
gonna
join in
go.
too, cause I gotta go to sleep after this showdown real quick. So
Hey, Williams, you've been quiet for a little bit. I'm sorry, brother.
it's good, man. I just sometimes I like to listen. I know my voice can be aggravating, so I like to listen sometimes. Waiting for you to activate the posse. Oh boy. I got you. I got you. But yeah, I just gotta figure out what I just gotta get ready for next month for me. So like the equipment I'll need.
A
Like the
fucking
USB,
asshole, you have to post
the
it.
USB
Fuck you.
headset,
Fuck you. You fucking
uh,
dickhead.
a USB headset along with a long
What was that,
cord.
Williams? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I went to buy Best Buy to look at the equipment I need. So it's like a long USB cord to hardwire myself to the internet, along with a USB headset, along with Ethernet cord. It's gonna run me about $80.
Did that fix your issue or what?
Alright?
Yeah. Ooh.
Getting ammo really quick.
Probably gonna change my jacket. Nah, I don't need to change it. I'm good. Might put the mask on for a change. And change the jacket. That's right, I can go to Blackwater to do all of that. I'm gonna head down to Blackwater, go to the tailor, and change my jacket, and put on a mask. I want my face to be seen, so I make sure I have. Let's see.
So showdowns or what?
I'm just going by the tailor to change my outfit, just a jacket and put a mask on.
Fuck it, I'll kill you with regular ammo. Come over here. me get my right gun though. I got bit by a snake.
Between
No, I just want to kill it. That's all I want.
and becoming an entrepreneur, I tell you what, it's too much. I'm not gonna get busy, which I guess is a good thing. Entrepreneur thing been going on for quite a few months. Hopefully we can push that game out soon. We need all the help we can get.
That was on purpose. I'm sorry. It's fucking 2 a.m. in the morning. I need to go to bed.
It's 6 over here. It's 6 over here.
I gotta go to work at 6 though.
Pleasure to see you again, sir.
Go to quick join. Go to your menu.
Oh, hold on, wait a minute. We just 5. Just got to the tailor. Change jacket. Look like a killer. I was just like,
Did you find it?
Which one?
The top one is what we usually do.
Take over?
Yeah, takeover is what we usually do. Shootout's the one where you wear your own clothes.
I stand behind everything I sell in this place, so you can purchase with confidence.
almost. I can just find that mask. Come on, where's that freaking mask? Alright.
My bad, guys. That one I just, fuck, I didn't care. It's all good. It's all good.
Well, thanks for coming in.
I'm coming. Hold on.
Well, what do you mean? Hold on. We've been waiting all night.
Okay, I'm ready.
You sure?
Yeah, I got the mask on.
What are you covering up for?
Alright, brother. Alright, brother. Alright, after this one, I'm gone.
Me too. I hate the fact that I get viewers when I get ready to end the stream. I got like 4 viewers as is. It's crazy. They only come on late. Need somebody to come on during the daytime. Sheesh.
That's true.
Cause this gonna be my last live stream. Like any live stream I do this week's gonna be my last one. So for a while. If I had between me trying to find a decent
Unable.
this
Fucking, I think I got kicked.
that's
After I get my son back.
yo Nev. Come on, man. Say something.
So, are we gonna win or what? Hello?
Yeah, put me in. I can hear.
I can hear you. It took a while. I had to turn it up because you were real faint.
Y'all go in?
No?
Got kicked.
Oh, well, I'm gonna quit then.
Yeah, me too.
Alright, good night, brother. Much love.
Alright, take it easy. And to those who's watching, all that's gonna be on YouTube from the very beginning. See y'all whenever I see you. Williams out.